Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Monday, September 27th. Welcome. Um, it's Monday morning, early. Um, I didn't want another week to go by. It's already been 3 weeks, which was not my intention. Really, it never is. We've just stuff, just stuff. My dryer is still not fixed. We decided to go ahead and fix it instead of buying a new dryer. Or even buying a used dryer, because once we fix it, then it becomes like a used dryer, right? So anyway, we're waiting. They had to order the part. It's the control board, of course, and I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks or something. So I've been going to the laundromat, but I get to stitch, so it's okay. And if you go to the laundromat, even though it's expensive, you get all your laundry done in like an hour. And I'm okay with that too. Yesterday I had a maroon linen dress in there that I did not realize was in there because I would have hand washed it, but I especially wouldn't have washed it with anything else being brand new. So now Dax has a whole slew of new pink underwear. He's very happy. Let me tell you. So anyway, I'm going to buy some color release and see if that will unruin the clothes that I ruined yesterday. What else? Amy had asked me about scorpion stings, and my understanding, I'm no entomologist or whatever you are if you study scorpions. My understanding is that when they sting you, there's actual poison that goes in there. And I did have a reaction. After the last time I recorded, by the time that we were leaving the house that morning, I had a red spot around where it stung me that was about that big around. And it was swollen and it was hot. So I took a Benadryl before we left, which is not good for me to do. If I'm going to take Benadryl, I usually take children's Benadryl in like half a dose. Otherwise, I cannot function. Benadryl leaves me with like, I don't know, a 12 to 18 hour hangover afterwards. But the office wasn't open that day. It was on Labor Day when we were going in to work. And Dax could hear me in there on the keyboard clicking away working, and then it would get quiet and he would come back. He would come up there and check on me, and I would be like, sound asleep. And that happened about 4 times during the day. I was pretty worthless. So, and then I came home and took another Benadryl and slept for another 12 hours. I don't know, it was crazy. But after 2 or 3 days, it still wasn't going away, and I had gone, because it itched like crazy, to the pharmacy, and I was only asking if I bought the Benadryl cream, if it would have the same antihistamine in it to try to block the reaction. And I really don't know the answer to that, because the pharmacist apparently is not from around here, and was so blown away by the fact that I got stung by a scorpion. He didn't even pay attention to anything else or answer any questions. He couldn't get over that. So anyway, it's all gone now. It's all better. It took about a week to get over itself. What else has been going on? Oh, I've been into a couple of things. When I was looking for the cats that have disappeared and have not returned, I brushed against poison ivy or poison oak. I don't know, I had something on my leg that was making me nuts. And Dax is crazy allergic to poison ivy, so he wouldn't even let me He wouldn't even let me lay in the bed if that leg was facing him. He didn't want me close to him. But then last week I got into something, I don't know, it was more like hives, but they were just sporadic all over my body. I don't know. But in the midst of all of this, I did stitch. So we'll get on to that because that's really the fun part. Right? Sorry, I thought I took this out already. Last weekend, well, I bought some more stuff on an online auction that we had to go pick up. And so, in order to get Dax to go willingly with me last weekend, I found a couple of whiskey distilleries in the area we were going. When I placed my bid, even though I absolutely read that the auction was in Manor, that's where I had to go pick it up, in my head I was thinking Manchac, which is much closer to us. Manchac is on the west side of Austin, a little bit southwest, and Manor is on the northeast side. So, of course, Manor is where we had to go. So, I looked up a couple of whiskey distilleries to make it worth his while. And we went and stopped at one. I worked on Wyatt's stocking. I am keeping up with my 25 stitches a day. However, one day last week, it was my piece to work on for the day. And I put in like 200 stitches and realized at the end of that I was off somewhere. And I had to rip out about 100. I actually had 2 days last week I didn't stitch because one of them I was trying to find my mistake. That's what I spent all my stitching time doing. And the other one was pulling it all out. Let me see if I can get this a little bit better so it's not so dark. I don't even know what you're seeing. Oh, I'm like, what is that? Anyway, so I think I caught back up with what I had to take out. But here we go. I'm excited. Look at his leg coming along nicely. A bunch of this right here is what I had to take out. I had come down and I was off, like coming from up here and coming down. But it's getting better. He's coming along. It makes me happy to see the progress finally. Finally, because I didn't feel like there was for a long time. Anyway, so we went to this distillery. And we got a flight to taste the different things that they had. And they're fairly new, and so they don't actually have any of their own whiskey. They have a Scotch, but we didn't try the Scotch. We tried a flight of 3 different whiskeys that were someone else's. I don't even know who made them. I wish I knew because I need to remember the name. Because one of them I do not ever want to buy again. Yeah. I took a little sip because it's a flight, a little short, just tastes. I took a sip of the first one. It burned. And I don't mean like, ooh, that's strong. I mean like my tongue is numb. My lips are getting numb. It stung. I have never had anything like it. We've done moonshine tastings, and I've never had anything like it. And it wasn't, you didn't want to die if you held it in your mouth and let your tongue and your lips get numb before you swallowed. I accidentally swallowed before the stinging went away, and it burned the back of my throat. I started coughing. I thought I was going to throw up. Dags had to go get me a glass of water. I drank the whole thing. I couldn't talk. It was awful. Who makes whiskey like that? Who wants to drink whiskey like that? I bet gasoline wouldn't do that to you. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. I have never, I've never drank gasoline, so I don't know. I did have a dentist one time accidentally he was cleaning out where he had drilled for a root canal, and some of the bleach accidentally got down my throat. This hurt worse than that. I'm just saying. It was horrible. Anyway, we survived, obviously. I won't be trying that again. I worked on my fall welcome piece. This one is on my list of things I probably won't finish in 2021. That's not how the list started, but that's the reality of where we are. I think since the last time, this is one that I had to start over again at the beginning of the year because my other piece of fabric wasn't big enough. So I think since last time, I've put in the little berries up here and some of the detail in this pumpkin, and then working on filling in that pumpkin, which is this one right here. I put in some of the lighter colored lines and then filling in this pumpkin because it's all the same color. So, yes, my list of this, and maybe there will be some miracle and something else on that list will get done, but we're not holding our breath. I worked on this one. I think, yes, this is one from Sherry Smith. She sent me a big box of goodies a while back, and this is one of them out of it. And I'm doing Mr. and Mrs. Claus, but I'm not doing it on a t-shirt. I'm just doing on this little piece of fabric. I bought like a grab bag from 123 Stitch a while back that's all 16 and 18 count 6x6 pieces or something like that, but they're great for ornament sizes. So this is Santa right here. This is part of, he's got on, this is like the trim on his jacket. This time I put in his feet, well, in his glove. So he has both feet in one hand now. We'll be getting that finished not anytime soon, I'm certain. I worked on this little Snoopy bookmark. And I realized that back in the day I used to do a lot of reading. I don't anymore. If I do, it's stuff that I've printed off, shorter things, and so I don't really use bookmarks. So I decided not to do the words at the top, which makes this finished. I have an idea of how I want to finish it, but we'll see if, how I want to FFO it, but we'll see if that actually works. So, there you go. We got Woodstock put in, Snoopy, stack of books. We're good. We got to finish. That gave me 2 finishes in September. I had one at the beginning of the month I had completely forgotten about, which gives me, I had to look, which gives me 22 finishes for the year so far, and I'm not going to complain about that at all, even though I have my list of items that are not going to be finished this year. They'll just carry over into next year and it'll be fine. If I can keep with the 25 stitches a day on Wyatt's stocking, I actually have hopes that I can get it done next year, and I haven't had that in 20 years, so we're good. I call that a win. Sorry for the slurp. It's still kind of hot. I worked on this Summer in Chalk. This one is a hands-on design. Is that who it is? This one is actually out of the Just Cross Stitch magazine from June 2016. This is one of the Priscilla and, is that right? Hands-on designs? I don't see it like where it's jumping out at me real fast. Anyway, you all know. I'm sure you do. So here's where I am at. This time I got the E completed. I didn't have any of the E on there last time. Now, I was a little bit disappointed when I took it out of the hoop because I thought there was more up here. So the next time, instead of coming down here and working on the R, I'm going to work on the M so that it says me. Because, I mean, really, it's what it's all about, right? I took this piece with me yesterday to the laundromat, and it works really well. I usually go in the evening, a couple of hours before they close on Sunday. There's hardly anybody else in there. They have a couple of little chairs in the corner, right across from some washing machines. So I parked myself over there where I'm not in anybody's way. I'm in my own little world while my clothes wash and dry, and I get to stitch. So I worked on this one. This is also on my list of things I'm not going to finish in 2021. So, here from the back where you can see how I am. I finished this time, I finished the, I got this done on the trunk of the tree, and then I'm still filling in over here. It's spotty. So it's like, oh, here's this little section, let's fill it in. And now I need to go back and make sure, because I'm paranoid that I'm going to miss things. Because why not? I worked on Abigail's stocking also. I really should fix all this so that I don't look so pathetic. And I think that this time I know I worked on the hats and got those done, and then his little face and other arm. It's fun. It's fun. Since getting these two done, because they were, a little confetti heavy, it's a Dimensions kit, of course they are. But even when you start something like that, and it is confetti heavy, I always feel like it takes so long to feel like I'm actually getting to something that you can see, where you can go, okay, yes, that's a snowman. So I'm happy with, okay, that's a face. I worked on this. It is out of a magazine, Cross Stitcher Magazine, September 2016. Little pile of books with a teacup on top. And I am doing this on a bread thing. I'm not going to use it for bread, but why not use the fabric? At least it shows up a little bit on here. I worked on this at the laundromat the time before, because it had been what got called that day, and that morning I didn't have very much time to get anything done. So there we go. I just spent the time to move the needle minder so that the thread drags all the way across. When I was at the laundromat, I filled in this with the blue. It's really kind of hard to tell, and it's really hard to see in the laundromat. But, and then came down here and started on the pink book underneath it. I had the outline of the book done before. It's this one right here. This is the one I just worked on, and this is the one that I'm starting. A lot of back stitch, and it's like you can see those are all like French knots, I think. It's allergy season, the ragweed's blooming. Neighbors are still burning stuff. They're delights. Killing me. It's all good. Worked on this one. Stony Creek, Bushel and a Peck. It's a lot. I thought I was missing this color to fill in, and turns out, no, I wasn't. I had it. So this time I filled in all of this, and I think up here on that middle piece, it's like a birdhouse right there. It's one like right here at the bottom. But it's progress. Progress is progress. And I think the heart, I filled in the heart too. Because that was all in the color I thought I didn't have. It's amazing what you can find out if you actually look at the threads that are in your project. So, I worked on this one. This time I don't know what I did. I know I did this window. And I filled in the rest of the brown, I think. So there's a big wreath that goes right here. So you can finally see where the outline of it is. One of these days, it's like the ghost of Christmas future. Worked on my friendship quilts. Will not be completed this year, no matter what list it's on. Finally finished filling in the window up here. It's probably like a curtain or something, right? And then started filling in down below it. Filled in a little bit over here. Just, I think this stuff was in the same color as up here, so I just went down over there. And then this is the bottom of the window down here, I believe. Like, there's the chair with the quilt right there. Right here. I think the next time I pick it up that I'm going to come right over here, because there's probably about this much more of the house that comes right here, and that'll be the edge of my pattern or my piece. I worked on this one. This is Autumn at Sinking Creek. There are, look at, okay, this one is based off of this piece of artwork right here. There are patterns for these other pieces of artwork. Those would be pretty cool to have, right? I started working on this. I've messed up. I went and pulled a bunch out. And I put it back in. But, like right now, I'm doing it with one strand. Well, there's some blended stuff in here. So tell me what you think. Do I need to start it again? Because I started it originally on a piece of fabric that was too small. I mean, the count, it was like maybe a 22 count or something. So I started it this time like this, and I started doing it with just one strand. They're just half crosses. So I'm thinking about starting it again because of the blendeds. But this is all up in the sky. So do I just leave the sky, like part of it with two strands, part of it with one, kind of like a dimensions kit would be, or do I start it over? Tell me what you think. I need advice on that. Okay, I think that's everything I worked on. I worked on my solitude piece, but it is so confetti heavy that in the time that I need to work on it, that I have available to work on it, I didn't get enough done that you could tell any difference. I mean, there might be 20 extra stitches in there because there's 2 of each of 10 different colors, and by the time you do all of that, you've spent 30 minutes to put in 20 stitches, and it doesn't show. So, I don't know. I think with getting the Snoopy done, that with Mania next year, I'll get to have 6 new starts. That includes the extra one for it being 22. So that's kind of exciting. I'm going to have to get busy kitting things up. I used to have things kitted up well in advance. Now I have a bunch of them waiting on me, so I guess I need to take some time to kit those up. What else? I think that's it. I didn't buy anything. Well, It's because they're not selling cross-stitch stuff on these auctions that I keep buying. But it's okay. It's okay. I keep selling stuff on eBay too, so it's okay. Dax keeps telling the kids, be careful what you leave laying around. Your mom will sell it. And the truth of the matter is, like, from laying around, I sold a Nintendo 64 console that's been sitting in a shoebox under my bed for like 10 years. Except for the fact that they saw me cleaning it off and making sure it wasn't dusty and taking pictures, they wouldn't have even known it was gone. And then we have a Sleep Number bed that the remote quit working on, but we bought the bed 15 years ago. And so they don't make that remote anymore, so they sent us a new air pump with a remote, because our other one you couldn't change the settings or anything. And what's the point of having a bed like that if you can't change anything? So I sold the old pump, and I put in the description that, I'll include, I know what's wrong with the remote. It needs to be soldered. A little piece of metal broke loose and needs to be soldered back on. You can have the remote, do with it whatever you want. But I sold that. I sold some old computer games, and it's kind of like, it's all stuff that I wasn't taking anything anybody's using. It's all stuff that, just like that, why throw away a pump when somebody else can use it? When we break stuff, I usually get online and look. If I only have broken a part of something, I don't throw the whole thing away. So why not help somebody else out who's in the same situation, Anyway, it's enough of that. I've got to go get ready for work. Dax won't let me wear sweatshirts. Actually, he'd let me do whatever I want, because I'm the one who deals with the clients mostly. But I'm not going to wear a sweatshirt unless it's the weekend. Anyway, too much rambling. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Welcome, new subscribers. I appreciate you. Thank you, subscribers who've been with me for a while. Those of y'all who come back week after week or once every month, however often I manage this, I appreciate it. I truly do. Thank you for your comments. I was in the middle of responding to somebody, and our power went out. I do all that stuff at the office because my phone is horrible with doing it, because my phone's like 100 years old. And now I can't find, I don't remember who I was commenting to. I can't find it. I am not necessarily tech savvy, to say the least. Anyway, I appreciate the comments and the likes and the subscriptions, and I appreciate you coming back here to visit with me. I hope y'all have a fantastic week, and we'll see you here next time. Thanks, y'all. Bye.